Hey YouTube, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be trying a new recipe. It's been tested by my sister who said it was great, and it's also been a while since I've made anything with pumpkin. So today I'm going to be making pumpkin bread, and because I only have one loaf pan, also some pumpkin muffins. Let's start by creaming together half a cup or 1 stick of butter with 2 cups of sugar. You want to make sure this gets nice and fluffy, and it's going to take a few minutes, so if you can afford the investment of a stand mixer, I highly recommend that. While this gets ready, we're going to go ahead and get our dry ingredients ready. That's going to be 2 3/4 cups of flour, half a teaspoon of baking powder, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, and then for our spices we need 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 3/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. And we're going to mix up those dry ingredients really well before we move on to the next step. To our butter and sugar mixture, we're going to add 3 eggs. Make sure that each egg is fully combined before adding the next one. Next, we're going to add a 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree. There's a note in the recipe to make sure that you're using pumpkin puree and not pumpkin pie filling. And once that's all mixed together, we'll add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now it's time to combine everything together. We're going to start with the dry ingredients, and then add a few splashes of milk, some more dry ingredients, the rest of the milk. You're going to use half a cup of milk total. And lastly, we're going to finish off with the dry ingredients. Make sure to scrape down the sides of your bowl at least once. Now's the time to add any extra ingredients. I used a pumpkin and chocolate chip recipe, so I'm using 10 ounces of semi-sweet or dark chocolate chips. You can also add nuts if you like those. And into a buttered loaf pan, or 2 loaf pans if you've got 2, I only have 1, we're going to spread out half of the mixture into one pan, and with the other half I'm going to fill lined muffin tins. Since I'm making muffins and not cupcakes, I'm going to fill these almost to the top. If I was making cupcakes, I'd only want to fill them about halfway to 3/4 of the way, but because I'm making muffins and I want that little extra dome, I'm going to fill them a little bit more full. If you have 2 loaf pans, you won't need the muffin tins, but since I don't have 2 loaf pans that are the right size, that's why I'm making these muffins. By the way, I've already started preheating my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to bake the loaf for about an hour, maybe 50 to 55 minutes, but for me it took about an hour because I used the bigger size loaf pan and I was able to get it a little bit more full. And then the muffins will take probably about 20 minutes. And whoops, we'd already sampled a few. They were delicious. I really loved them with the melty chocolate chips in the middle still. And actually my dog got to enjoy this loaf, which was really disappointing. I've already gotten ingredients to make more. But I highly encourage you to try out this recipe. Let me know what you think in the comments below, or leave a thumbs up if you like this video. I'd really appreciate it if you could share this video if you know anybody that likes pumpkin or spice. And if you're new around here, please consider subscribing to check out my new videos coming out pretty soon. And I hope to see you next time. Bye guys!